Morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader here from Mr. Topstep with your Friday morning pre-market webcast. Well, another day, another higher high on the E-mini. We went and did 13, 11, 25 yesterday during the regular session. Check that, 13, 11 half. So, the bulls keep making higher highs, and we're pushing up against this 13 level that we've been talking about as one of our resistance levels. And we backed off from that. We made it down as low as 13.05 quarter last night. Made a run back up, but couldn't get past 13.10 this morning. Current trade is 13.0725. So when we hit 13.11 half yesterday, that was dead on 60 handles away from the 45-day pivot. And I discussed earlier this week how 60 handle distance between the 45-day pivot and peak price becomes stretched. 70 turns into, I use the term silly town. We didn't get to silly town, but we got to stretched, and we've pulled back a little bit. So keep an eye on that 45-day pivot. It's jumped up about 5 handles today, so we'd have to do 13, 16 half and above to get back to a stretch level on that. But that's just one of the indicators that we use in the room that goes along with the pivot points that helps us determine, along with a lot of things that other people do, that it may be time for a reversal. And a lot of people got in and around that level and had a nice little short into the end of the day yesterday. So today I'm looking at I'm looking at 13.10 and I'm looking at 13.13. On the downside, the bears show me nothing until they can get back below 13.03, which was the top of that original 50 handle range that I gave you, the 13.03 to 12.53. The bulls have broken out of that range, closed above it, and I expect that range, at least on the first time down, to act as support. So the bears have got to get back through 13.03, back into that original range before they can start to chop through. There's just a lot of support now that the bears have got to get through, and it's going to be a real tall order for them to do this, to get it back down in and below, 1270 into the 1260s. I don't expect, Wile E. Coyote off a cliff here. I think it was a grind up, and I think to a certain extent it's going to be a grind down because the dip buyers are going to be there every step of the way, because for the last 2 years it's Pavlov's dog, buy the dip, and they're going to be there buying those dips. And until the dip buyers once or twice really get taken out to the cleaners by the bears, the dip buyers are going to be there. So don't expect a huge cascade down. Buy the dips, sell the rips, and just trade these ranges. Let's do support and resistance. Current trade is 12.07 quarter. So on the upside, 13.10, 13.13, 13.18, 13.23, 13.26, 13.30, and then 13.32 to 13.33. On the downside, 13.03, 12.98, 12.88, 12.84, 12.80, 12.78. As far as the pivots go, I'll mention one last thing, and I'll add another level of support there, right at 13.01, right around the figure. The 3-day and the 9-day have locked up at 13.01, and your daily pivot is sitting at 13.07, but it's been chopping through the daily pivot, so I'm not giving the daily pivot much credit today. But watch and see how it reacts at 13.01 with the 3-day and 9-day sitting there in lockstep. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader for Mr. Topstep. I will see everybody Monday morning. Trade them well.